so much for being here. We are thrilled to be able to do this. As I think a lot of people have heard, really one of the last things to kind of open up has been the performing arts, simply by the nature of it. And I was thinking last fall, we were planning to do something. I was thinking, what could we do that would respect the safety concerns that we had? And so I came up with a radio evening. It's a great history in our United States that oftentimes large theaters, if they didn't have a show going on, or sometimes even for years, they would have an actual radio studio set up. And people would still come like it was a live presentation, but it was basically to do a radio show. And they would do that for years and years and years in these theaters. And I thought, well, now that would work out great for us. A lot of times they'd have comedy sketches, or they would have horror programs. They'd have music. So what we have done tonight is include music, include some very clever student-written commercials, and then the main piece is a script from the old Twilight Zone series, which is considered one of the finest of its type. It's a serious thing. It talks about jumping to conclusions and anger and prejudice and how that rips societies apart. So we hope that you all enjoy this. We're so glad it was in it. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody that's watching us online, either tonight or later on. And I especially want to thank the administration and the staff here at Holy Cross. We honor the arts, and we want that to be something that we can offer to all of our folks. So, without any further ado, an evening of song, an evening of satire, an evening of seriousness. As I told the young people, we're dedicating this evening and this performance to all those who are victims of violence in any form. We hope that you will enjoy our radio evening tonight. Thanks for being here, guys.
To get things started tonight, we'll have the songstylist, Kimberly Dueñez Gallegos, singing that international hit, 50%.
Told me a year and a half ago Hundreds of people are terrorized by the pesky beast outside of Holy Cross each year. Innocent students and staff are being held hostage by the beast of the school parking lot every morning.
Mrs. Morris, help!
But you can help by donating a small amount on our website, www.peacebegone.com. Today, we can move one step closer into peaceful paradise. You too can help save a freshly washed car.
Oh no! Not on my car!
By donating in the next 5 minutes, you can receive a free Peace Be Gone sticker and complimentary picture of a booth from the Holy Cross campus.
Before we get into the main piece of the evening, I want to explain what we do about sound effects. Some of the sound effects that we use are very practical. However, because of the technology that we have today, you will see throughout the play that they will also be using their phones. So it's both a practical sound effect, but also things that we're able to gather using the technology of today, just like they did back in the 30s and 40s to bring the sound alive to the vast people out there.
And now for Act 1 of The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
There's a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies within the pit of man's fear, the summit of his knowledge. This is a dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. Welcome to Maple Street, USA, late summer. A tree-lined little world of front porch gliders, hopscotch, to laughter of children, and the bell of an ice cream vendor.
Mommy, can we get some ice cream?
Me too.
At the sound of the roar and the flash of light, will be precisely 6:43 p.m. on Maple Street.
What was that? A meteor?
That's what it looked like. I didn't hear any cracks though. Did you?
Nope, I didn't hear anything except a roar.
Steve, what was that?
Guess it was a meteor, honey. Came awfully close, didn't it?
Too close for my money. Much too close.
Maple Street, 6:44 p.m. on a late April evening. Maple Street, the last calm and reflective moments before the monsters came.
The lights won't work. That's strange. Operator, something's wrong with the phone. Operator. Steve, the power's off. I had soup on the stove and the stove just stopped working. Same thing over here. I can't get a thing on my phone.
Radio's gone dead.
can't get anything
It's
to work. My
gone.
power, my
My lights
power.
won't
Where'd it
work.
go?
It's gone.
Mr. Van Horn, why don't you go and check on Floor Street?
It doesn't make sense. Why should the power go off all of a sudden? And the phone line?
Maybe some sort of an electrical storm or something.
That don't seem likely. Sky's just as blue as anything. Not a cloud. No lightning, no thunder, no nothing. How can it be a storm?
I can't get a thing on the radio, not even the portable.
Well, why don't we go downtown and check with the police? Though, they'll probably think we're crazy or something. A little power failure, and right away we get all flustered and everything.
It isn't just the power failure, Sherry. If it was, we'd still be able to get a broadcast on the portable. That runs on batteries. I'm gonna jump in my car and ride downtown. We'll get this straightened out. I don't understand it. My car won't start.
Of gas?
No, I just had it filled.
What's it mean?
It's just as if everything had stopped. We'd better walk downtown.
The two of us can go, Sherry. It couldn't be a meteor. A meteor couldn't do this.
Mr. Brandt, you better not.
Well, why not, Tommy?
They don't want you to.
Who doesn't want us to?
Them.
Them?
Who are them? Whoever was in that thing that flew by overhead.
What?
Whoever was in the thing that came over. I don't think they want us to leave here.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
They don't want us to leave. That's why they shut everything off.
What makes you say that? Whatever gave you that idea?
How isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard?
It's always that way. In every story I've ever read about a ship landing from outer space.
From outer space? Sally, you better get that kid of yours up to bed. He's been reading too many movies or reading too many comic books. Tommy, come over here and stop that kind of talk.
Go ahead, Tommy. We'll be right back. And you'll see, that wasn't any ship or anything like it. That was just a meteor. It probably had something to do with the power failure and the rest of it. Meteors can do some crazy things, like sunspots.
Sure, that's the kind of thing like sunspot. They mess with radio reception all over the world. And these things being so close, why, there's no telling the kind of stuff it can do. Go ahead, Sherry. You and Steve go into town and see if that isn't what's causing it all.
Mr. Brand, wait, please. Please don't leave here. You might not even be able to get to town. It was that way in the story. Nobody could leave. Nobody except...
Tommy, please, son, honey, don't talk that way.
That kid shouldn't talk that way, and we shouldn't be standing here listening to him. Well, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. The kid tells us a comic book plot, and here we stand listening.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, Tommy. What was the story about? And what about the people they had sent out ahead?
Well, that was the way they prepared things for the landing. They sent 4 people, a mother and a father and 2 kids who looked just like humans, but they weren't.
Tommy. Well, I guess what we better do is run a check on the neighborhood and see which ones of us are really human.
Well, there must be something better we can do than stand around here making bum jokes about it. I wonder if Floor Street's got the same deal we got. And where is Pete Van Horn anyway? Didn't he get back yet?
Can you get it started, Les?
No dice. I'm just gonna leave it.
He got the car started somehow. He got his car started.
How come his car just up and started like that?
All by itself. He wasn't anywhere near it. It started all by itself.
And he never did come out to look at the thing that flew overhead. He wasn't even interested. Why? Why didn't he come out with the rest of us to look?
He always was an oddball. A real freak show. Him and his whole family.
Let's get over there and ask him.
Wait a minute. Let's not be a mob.
I just don't understand it. I tried to start it, and it wouldn't start. You saw me. All of you saw me. I don't understand, I swear. I don't understand what's happening.
Maybe you better tell us. Nothing's working on this street. Nothing. No lights, no power, no radio. Nothing except one car. Yours.
Wait a minute now. You stop right there. All of you. So I've got a car that starts by itself. Well, that's a freak thing. I admit it. But does that make me some kind of criminal or something? I don't know why the car works. It just does.
We're all on a monster kick, Les. It seems the general impression holds that maybe one family isn't what we think they are. Different than us. Monsters from the vast beyond. Do you know anybody that might fit that description around here on Maple Street?
What is this? A gag or something? This a practical joke or something?
Look, everybody, his porch light went out.
Now, I suppose that's supposed to incriminate me. I'm guilty. The porch light goes out. That really does it, doesn't it? I just don't understand this. Look, you all know me. We've lived here for 5 years, right in that house. We're no different than any of the rest of you. No different at all. Really, this whole thing is just... it's just weird.
Well, if that's the case, Les Goodman, then you better explain.
Explain what?
Look, guys, let's just forget this.
Let her talk. Explain what? What about it?
Well, sometimes I go to bed late at night. A couple of times, I come out on my porch and I see Mr. Goodman standing out in front of his house, looking up at the sky. That's right, just looking up at the sky, as if he were looking for something, as if he were waiting for something.
You know, really, this is for laughs. You know what I'm guilty of? I'm guilty of not being able to sleep. Yeah, that's right, insomnia. Now, what's the penalty for insomnia? Wait, stop right there. Did you hear what I said? I said it was insomnia. I said it was insomnia! You fools, you scared, frightened rabbits, you're sick people. You're sick people, all of you. And you don't even know where you're starting because, let me tell you, this thing that you're starting, that should frighten you. And as God is my witness, you're letting something begin here that's a nightmare.
And now, our word from our healthier sponsor.
I have had the most stressful day. Constant rehearsals for this Twilight Zone. And this mean little director. And now I've just run out of cigarettes. Here, you can have one of mine. Oh, yes, a cigarette. Not just any cigarette. Cancerette cigarettes. Oh, I've heard of these. Are they really as good as people say? You betcha. It's got twice the chemicals than the leading cigarettes, and it's half the price. No filter, just try it. Ooh, I guess I will. Oh, they really are great. And I love that chemical taste. A little bit with every puff. Oh, and the sizzling in my lungs. It's literally breathtaking. Yeah, it is. Cancerette cigarettes, the burn you've been waiting for. If you had a stressful work day, take a puff. You got monsters in your neighborhood? Blow some smoke. And don't miss out on our coupons on the back. All coupons go towards a discount at the funeral home. For a quick trip to the graveyard, Cancerettes are your ride. There. Great! Cancerette cigarettes, the fiery taste. More for your money. Don't let the burn go to waste.
And now for Act 2 of The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
It just doesn't seem right, though, keeping watch on Les and Ethel Goodman. Why, Les, he was right when he said he was one of our neighbors. Why, I've known Ethel Goodman ever since they moved in. We've been good friends.
That don't prove a thing. Any guy who'd spend his time that early in the morning looking up at the sky, well, there's something wrong with that kind of person. There's something that ain't legitimate. Now, maybe under normal circumstances, we could let this go by. But these aren't normal circumstances. Why, look at this street. It is dark. Nothing but candles. Why, it's like going back into the Dark Ages or something.
Just stay right where you are, Steve. We don't want any trouble. But this time, if anybody sets foot on my porch, that's what they're gonna get. Trouble.
Look, Les,
I've
all you
already
need to...
explained to you people. I don't sleep very well at night sometimes. I get up and I take a walk and I look up at the sky. I look at the stars.
That's exactly what he does. Why, this whole thing is some kind of madness or something.
That's exactly what it is, Ethel. Some kind of madness.
You best watch who you're seen with, Steve. Until we get this all straightened out, you ain't exactly above suspicion yourself.
Or you, Sherry, or any of us. It seems from age 8 on up.
What I'd like to know is, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna stand around here all night?
There's nothing else we can do. One of them will tip their hand. They've got to.
There's actually something you can do, Sherry. You should go home and shut up. You can quit strutting around like a self-appointed hanging judge and just climb into bed and forget it.
You sound real anxious to have that happen, Steve. I think we better keep our eye out on you, too.
I think everything might as well come out now. Your wife's done plenty of talking, Steve, about how odd you are.
Go ahead. What has she said?
Go ahead. What's my wife said? Let's get it all out. Let's pick out every little quirk of every single man, woman, and child on the street. And then we may as well set up some kind of kangaroo court. How about a firing squad at dawn, Sherry? That way you can narrow down all the suspects, get them all together, and make your life easier.
There's no need getting so upset, Steve. It's just that, well, Myers talked about how there's been plenty of nights you spent hours down in your basement, working on some kind of radio or something. Well, none of us have ever seen that radio.
Go ahead, Steve. What kind of radio set are you working on? I've never seen it. Neither has anyone else. Who do you talk to on this radio set? And who talks to you?
I'm surprised at you, Sherry. How come you become so dumb all of a sudden? Who do I talk to? I talk to monsters from outer space. I talk to three-headed green men who fly over here in what looks like meteorites.
Steve, please. It's just a ham radio set, that's all. A lot of people have them. I bought him a book on it myself. It's just a ham radio set. I can show it to you. It's right down in the basement.
Myra, show them nothing. If they want to look inside our house, let them get a search warrant.
Look, buddy, you can't afford to be...
Sherry, quit telling me what I can and can't afford, and stop telling me who's dangerous and who isn't and who's safe and who's a menace. And you're all with her too. All of you. You're all standing here, all set to crucify, all set to find a scapegoat, all desperate to point some kind of finger at a neighbor. Well, listen here, friends. The only thing that's going to end up happening here is we'll all end up eating each other alive.
That's not the only thing that can happen to us.
Oh my God!
It's the monster! It's the monster!
Hand me the gun. You made it easy.
A shotgun? Good Lord, will you people think a thought around here? What good would a shotgun do again?
Shut up, Steve! You're gonna talk us into a grave. You'd let whatever is out there walk right over us, wouldn't you? Well, some of us won't.
Oh my God. It's Pete Van Horn!
Pete Van Horn? You were just gonna go over to the next block to see the power was on.
You killed him, Sherry. You shot him dead.
But I didn't know who he was. I certainly didn't know who he was. He comes walking out of the darkness. How was I supposed to know who he was? Steve, you know why I shot? How was I supposed to know he wasn't a monster or something? We were all scared of the same thing. I was just trying to protect my house. That's all I was trying to do. I swear I didn't know it was somebody we knew. I swear I didn't know.
Sherry, the light just went on in your house. Why does the light just go on?
What about it, Sherry? How come you're the only one with lights now?
That's what I'd like to know. You were so quick to kill, Sherry, and you were so quick to tell us who we had to be careful of. Well, maybe you had to kill. Maybe Peter there was trying to tell us something. Maybe he found out something and told us who there was amongst us we should watch out for.
No, it's nothing of the sort. I don't know why the lights are on. I don't. I swear somebody's pulling a gag or something.
A gag? A gag, Sherry? There's a dead man on the sidewalk and you killed him. Does this look like a gag to you?
No, please. It has to be serious. Stop. Look, I swear to you, it isn't me. But I do know who it is. I swear to you, I know who the monster is here. I know which one of us doesn't belong. I swear to you, I know.
Come on, Sherry, come on.
Who is it, Terry? Tell us.
All right, Sherry, let's hear it.
It's...
Go ahead, Terry. Tell us.
It's the kid. It's Tommy. He's the one.
That's crazy. He's a little boy.
But he knew. He was the only one who knew. How could he have known?
What about Goodman's Law?
It was Sherry who killed old man Van Horn.
But it was the kid here who knew what was going to happen all along.
Have you all gone crazy? Stop!
Sherry has to be the one. Give me my gun.
Let's Goodman's the one. His car started. Let's wreck it.
What about Steve's radio? He's the one that called them.
Smash the radio. Give me a hammer. Give me something.
Stop! Stop!
It isn't the kid. It's Bob Weaver's house.
It isn't Bob Weaver's house. It's Don Martin's place.
I tell you, it's the kid.
It's Sherry, she's the one.
Dawn, stop! Give me a hand! Stop it!
And far above in the hills, two of the servers are patiently watching.
Understand the procedure now? Just stuff a few of their machines and radios and telephones and lawnmowers, throw them into darkness for a few hours, then you just sit back and watch the pattern.
And this pattern is always the same?
With few variations. They pick the most dangerous enemy they can find, and it's always themselves. And all we need to do is sit back and watch.
Then I take it this place, this Maple Street, is not unique.
By no means. Their world is full of maple streets, and we'll go from one to the other and let them destroy themselves. One to the other, one to the other, one to the other.
The tools of conquest and fear do not necessarily come from bombs and war. They are weapons that are simply thoughts, attitudes, prejudices found in the minds of ourselves. For the record, prejudices can kill, and suspicion can destroy, and a thoughtless, frightened search for a scapegoat has a follow all of its own. And the tragedy is that these things are not confined to the Twilight Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Rental Floss. Rent your dental floss for 5 years for only $19.99. Share it with your friends, your family, your neighborhood, and your whole community. And if you still need more convincing, here's our spokesperson to tell you more.
You, sir. Do you spend thousands of dollars a year on dental floss?
No.
Well, then we have a solution for you! Rental floss. Rental floss has many benefits, like saving you money. Listen to this poor mother's testimony.
Me and my family lived in a single, moldy box off of Tobacco Road, spending tens and thousands of dollars on dental floss. But with rental floss, we are now able to live in a 12-bedroom house on the beach.
It can also help you become closer to your community. Listen to this interaction between these two perfect strangers.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I borrow some of your rental floss? I have Brussels sprouts stuck in my teeth.
Of course.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. This sure is good. What did you have for lunch?
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What? I'm allergic to peanuts.
Whoopsie.
And how could we forget about our endless amount of yummy flavors? Like beef stew, chili, asparagus, yogurt, ice cream, and many, many more.
Jamie, have you been eating sweets before supper again? Now, why would you say that, Mommy? Well, I taste pudding on the floss. Must be Tommy down on Maple Street.
Those kids.
And to make this deal even better, this floss will last you for years.
Rental floss is perfect for you. It cleans your teeth.
And your families too.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you for supporting us in all the ways that you do. God bless you all, and you'll have a safe evening. We're going to get a cast picture, and then they have to change and get all the props put away, and then we'll turn them loose upon you. Thanks for being here again.
So it's mainly for the families to get a picture for us and everything because I didn't want to get a picture and I can't do that.
Right.
Feel free to stand there and take pictures if we're standing.
You want to throw up the house?
Yes, we're going to throw the house out.
There we go. There's the light. Jack, we need to up here. And where's Miss Bars?
I'm going to take it.
Oh, you're going to, well, thank you. So, look around, but then look especially, that's great.
All right, guys. All right, look at me.
Look at you. There's so many kids.
Miss Bars in here. There you go.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, do something dramatic. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Father Bill, Father
The whole thing goes.
Oh my God. It was so great.
So put the other props, put them upstairs, unless we normally leave them here. Get your phones.
We leave everything here.
You leave it all here?
Yeah, we leave it.
Oh, you leave all this here?
We're
doing it on Tuesday. But like, Jack, don't use them all up. Hurry, ladies. Get everything upstairs that needs to go upstairs until Tuesday. Yes.
If I kneel, I'll never get out.